I was reading the book of Jasher and got some good lessons out of that. Number one, Yaakov, Jacob's sons, did not just tell the people of was Shemelech, I believe the name of the town was, something like that. Did not tell them, oh, you have to get circumcised and then decide to betray them and go kill them anyways. No. While they were laid up from the circumcision, Dinah sent a message to her brothers that they had planned, once they healed from their circumcision, they were going to go attack and kill her brothers for making them do the circumcision. So we learn something very important from that. The enemy is willing to mutilate themselves physically, go to that point, to get what they want out of you, but then they're going to make you pay for forcing them to make that concession. And a bunch of people amongst them didn't. They hid their children. They said, why would you concede to the laws of a foreign people when those were not the commands given to us by our ancestors? So that tells you something about laws. And when you flip it around, you learn for yourself. Do not make concessions. Do not compromise. And you may fall into the thinking like I did. Oh, they don't understand. They don't know God's law. They don't know the history. No. When the kings came against the Ivrim, Jacob and his sons, Jacob and his sons had prayed to the Creator to be with them. And one thing that the Creator did was put in a reminding of these people of everything that Abraham had done to warrant his relationship with the Creator and the ways in which the Creator acted on behalf of Abraham. So, the enemy is not ignorant of our Creator, is not ignorant of the history. Everywhere you go in the world, everybody has heard of the God of the Bible. Excuse me. Oh, still sneezy. They're not stupid. They choose to ignore it. It seems like the only ones left in the dark are the ones who want to know that God, like me. I mean, so many things were written on my heart and mind that I went against because I was conditioned not to trust myself. And I was never explained how it is that God would write it on our hearts and minds, the people that He chooses. And when He chooses someone, you're going against the Creator when you go against that person. And so many of us are not raised with that claim being made over them, that ownership, that choosing, where, and you'll hear about families like this, like they'll fight amongst each other, but if you go against one of them, you go against all of them. You hurt a girl, her father steps up to the plate. I wasn't raised like that. But people who were raised like that, they will understand how it is that their creator has their back and can work on their behalf in very mighty ways. And again, in the book of Jasher, we see how the creator works, where he helps them conquer a bunch of cities, and then one of them is just full of mighty, mighty men, probably their equal and more of them. And what the creator does, because they've already been fighting through days and nights, city after city, Jacob's sons rest, while the men in that city all turn on each other. And we've had that example before. That's how the creator does it. So we can expect things like that to be happening on our behalf. And the reason they don't want the book of Jasher in there is because it accounts the first time that the descendants of Israel come across. So Esau's descendants, one of them takes his father's donkeys to go feed in a field, and a storm comes up, so all the donkeys just freeze. They won't move. They can't move the donkeys. And then from across the shore come these creatures, these mixes of species, and on the bottom half they're the likeness of men, so they have legs like men, and the top half is things like bears and other things with tails coming down from the back of their head. And one of them, strikes the descendant of Esau with their tail, and they make off with all the donkeys. And this young guy's got to go tell him what he saw, and that's why the Israelites never went to that area again. So these chimeras, these half human, half animal species, have been going on after the flood for thousands of years. And I noticed something else too while reading it. Somehow it's as if it happened yesterday. Now these people lived to be over 100 years old. So Enoch was alive while Noah was alive, when Noah was born, and Abraham became a member of the household of Noah, and the generations all coexisted. So if we're measuring time by relationship and events rather than the Gregorian calendar, I could just sense like it was yesterday, like somehow energetically I am closer to that time. I am closer to those people, and I am thus closer to our creator, because that's what death is. That's what darkness is. It's a pushing away from our creator, or a falling away, or a drifting away. And so we get lost further and further away in time, because time is a measurement of distance. So I'm going back in time, whereas others are going forward in time to when AI takes over their bodies and just going into further and further away, while I'm being drawn closer and closer in a sense through time, connecting my time existence, my timeline with the timeline where we have a creator that has our back and works in mighty and powerful ways. So I thought that might be helpful to someone, and if not, this is my testimony. I do not consent to winter soldiers, to evil chimeras. I will show love to anything within God's creation, but I do not consent to being a human sacrifice for demonic rituals. I do not consent for entities to be entering into my home through these devices. These devices are mine. I purchased them. I decide what comes through them. I am the master. God is my master. I'm in charge of my space. And I have a God who works for me in mighty ways. And I gotta go let a kitten in.